Hey everybody, it's Neil with the Dashly Gentleman. And with me, I have Frank. Say hi, Frank.
What up?
And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about perception. And also, we'll throw in, since that's going to be a pretty quick conversation, we'll also throw in celebrities and video games. So, let's talk a little bit about perception here, Frank. I know this is something you specifically wanted to talk about, so shoot.
I think it was mostly just because I was confused and I was mad at the time. But that doesn't change that it's a good thing to talk about. Where so between different individuals, perceptions change. Right now, it's hard not to talk about this because of the origin of it is being political. So I'm just going to go for it. But what we perceived as the president we thought we were getting was not the one that we thought that was not the one we actually ended up getting. So like was it that we forced our own perceptions on or preconceptions in this case on what we thought we were going to get and assumed that what we were getting wasn't exactly what we were looking at? Were we perceiving that like he was playing some kind of like mind game and was just going to win? Because whenever he was going into the election, I was thinking surely this person couldn't really act and think this way. No rational human being that gets to the point where they are really thinks like that. And that was my perception that he was playing the odds, that like he had this massive untapped demographic of people that actually vote that he could fucking work with and then get to be elected, and then it was like, the curtain was going to come down and like, we're actually going to do a bunch of cool things. But then like none of that happened. You see what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying. Honestly, I mean, the perception he gave off in general was, to me anyways, that he didn't know what the fuck he was saying. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And within literally 100 days of getting into office, he proved it. He's like, oh shit, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Or, we're going to completely repeal Obamacare. And then he talks to Obama. He's like, maybe not completely. He's like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And, I mean, he just basically, he does what most customer service people do, or technicians, or, you name it. Basically, smile big, and be a yes man in the interview, and then when you're on the job, just kind of fucking wing it and bullshit your way through it. I mean, there's a lot of evidence out there that, I mean, the bills that he's signing, he's not even reading.
I guess like my thing is that like is it unfair of us to have already have this preconceived notion and then to think so in such a direction that's counter to what he's actually doing, and being like, he's going to achieve all of these things whenever it's either not likely he will, or it's counter to what he's about. I mean, like that's what the perception changing, or having your perceptions rocked because of not what's actually happening. Do you see what I'm saying? We're like we wanted a thing, and it looked like that's what we were getting, because that's what, again, surely this isn't what it's going to be, or he's got some kind of master plan or whatever, and then boom, there was no plan. It was like the perception that was given in this case was that he's going into office and he's keeping his cards close to his chest because he doesn't want to tip off, his enemies, whomever they might be. And then whenever it came time to put him down and show him, there wasn't anything.
Right.
I mean, he had a series of blank cards. I mean, he didn't even have a fucking no hand. He had literally an absence of nothing. Like, he showed up at a 5-card draw with a bunch of Uno cards. and I'm like, is that on him or is that on us? I mean, like, did we read so much into what he was saying and doing and forcing our own perception of what we thought was right on him, and setting him up for failure.
I think it's a combination of both. It's a combination of the fact that he's a goddamn con artist and the fact that we bought his bullshit. I mean, I'll put it as bluntly as possible. I mean, I'm not gonna go above and beyond and be like, oh, hashtag not my president. I mean, he's our fucking president. Period. I dislike the guy. I'm not gonna say that every little thing about him or what he does is 100% wrong, but for the most part, he's winging it. But that being said, I mean, let's break it down to something more along the lines of not our president. Let's say just like, I don't know, a friend or a significant other. You as a person, when you're interacting with that, that counterpart, you have a tendency to be able to read their body language, and have a tendency to be able to, understand the inflection coming out of their mouth when they're speaking to you. So you can be like, okay, well, this person is being 100% genuine with me. They have a history of, let's say, kind of doing some shady shit to get what they want. But I know that, and I can still interact with this person because going into that with my guard up slightly, I can look for the signs of, oh, I'm going to get conned here. I'm going to get, lied to again. So at that point, I just tone out. But when you're talking about the president or, the president-elect or, a candidate, you gotta think about this. Every little thing he said on the campaign was pandering bullshit. It was tapping into the vein of America that we were really pissed off because nothing was getting done, and you name it. Just fill in the blanks of why we were mad and why we wanted change. And he knew exactly what it was. So he told everybody what they wanted to hear so he can get into office. Once he got into office, he's like, wow, shit, everybody believed me. You get what you want, and then once you get there, you're like, cool, thanks. I mean, there's nothing in the Constitution that says a president has to abide by his promises when he's campaigning. Excuse me.
But here's the thing. I mean, in this case, if he did, then if he abided by even half of the promises made on the campaign trail, then we would see an almost entire dissolution of the Constitution.
Yeah.
So I mean, on one hand, he's made these promises that he couldn't possibly keep.
Right.
I mean, I think that to me, that's where my perception of someone who is shrewd enough to lie when it suits him, and then whenever shit starts to happen and he actually does get elected, that's whenever he can turn it around and be like, boom, now I'm elected. Now I can do whatever the fuck I want to, and I can do the things that actually need to be done. I used a substantial base to get me voted in, which turned out to barely be a thing. And then, so now he's president. Now he can actually do some real good. But then none of that's happened. But here's another thing that concerns me as far as other people having their own preconceived perceptions of him. Is it not unfair to him to assume that despite his grandstanding, that he would have the cure-all for all the country's ailments, that he would be within his 100 days the answer to everything? For some reason, I always feel like this first 100 days is just absolutely an unfair bar to set. How much did he accomplish in this amount of time? I mean, given the pushback, I mean, probably not a whole lot.
Well,
I mean, but we all knew going in that people were gonna fucking hate the shit out of him. I mean, he hadn't even been president for 30 minutes, and there were fucking riots.
well, yeah, I mean, it's stupid on both sides, but the whole 100 days thing, he set for himself. I mean, it's not like everybody said, okay, what is he going to do in his first 100 days? No, he literally said, I promise to you, within 100 days, I'm going to get this shit done.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't know that. I mean, I kept hearing about the 100 days this, 100 days that, and I'm like, that seems like a fictitiously high bar to be to expect him to have all this shit done within that time frame. That's almost unfair. But if he said it for himself, and fuck him, you make your bed and then you lie in it.
Yeah, no, he totally said it himself. I know that there is a benchmark for a president and his staff to get shit done, and it's not because it's a goal set by themselves. It's because there's a time frame in which you're effective as a president, and then you're just putting out fires. I saw that in the West Wing when they said, okay, I think it was like the first 290 days or something like that of your term is when you're going to get the most shit done, and after that you're just playing catch up or putting out fires or whatever. At that point you've already fizzled out. So I mean, it's not completely unheard of, but it's not like a strict guideline set by anybody. It's just statistics. But as far as he's concerned, he said, in the first 100 days, I will do all of this shit that I'm promising. And you got to keep in mind, like, it's all about perception. You go into a business, okay? Let's say you want somebody to wire your building for Ethernet, okay? Excuse me. And they say, hey, we can get this done in 3 days. It's going to cost, $600. It won't interrupt your working. And you'll hardly even notice us. Well, give them that $600 up front, and cross your fingers, because unless you know anything about that kind of industry, unless you know anything about how long a job typically takes, all you can do is take their word for it and see if they can deliver. Now, when they come out and they completely fuck up their expectations they gave to you, what can you do? Say, okay, I don't want you anymore, go away, and all the work you did, undo it. It's overselling and under delivering, and that's the typical trait of a salesman, and that's what Trump is and always has been and still is to this day. He's selling you shit and you're buying it.
And so, like, selling shit and buying it, going back to, I guess, like, the real heart of it is the perception of an obvious Russian pawn. I mean, like, I'm trying to think about how to be, like, as nice about it as I possibly can. I mean, homie he just reeks of the Kremlin.
Oh yeah.
From his $5,000 loafers to his $10,000 toupee, and his orange spray tan. They might as well be making it red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
I'm just like, the more, and then especially like now where like you're kind of I mean, he's really pushing it for the Russian thing. I mean, you're saying you're not, but I'm kind of getting the feeling you are. And then, the guy who's in charge of investigating it, he fires them. And I'm like, I think you might be for sure now. I was trying to really kind of hold out hope. I mean, like, look, nobody wants him to be more successful than me. Nobody, trust me. I work in oil and gas. I want him to fucking be really successful. I want him to be just knocked out of the park. But I also like my country.
At what cost,
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Like, I don't like to be political on the show. I don't. I mean, just because, like, I feel like there's too many things that could go wrong. But sometimes I feel like these things need to be discussed in a broader sense, and this was one of them where I'm deeply concerned now more than I was before about what we have going on.
Right. It's completely understandable, and in terms of perception in general, the word perception, the definition of it, can be very close to the definition of bullshitting. I mean, perception is, hey, you're doing something, and I perceive your intent on as to why you're doing it. But if you're really good at bullshitting, the perception you give off is something completely different than what you're doing.
Right.
Obvious. I was talking to my boss the other day, and he was like, there was a guy in our company that, to give the perception that he was working really hard, what he would do is he would do a fuck ton of work, and he'd do it all within an hour or two of the day, and go do whatever the hell he wanted for the rest of the day. And at 11 o'clock at night, he would click send on everything. He would run all the reports and do everything he needed to do, and it only took him an hour. But because he sent it at 11 p.m. to his bosses or whatever, it gave the perception that he was working late into the night, and he's a team player and taking one for the team by working super hard.
Yeah.
And that's complete bullshit. And people bought it. I mean, he got promotions, he got bonuses and raises and shit. Like, it's 90% of what people perceive of you and 10% of what you actually do.
Right. And that's the game.
And it's almost synonymous with just outright dishonesty, and I guess bullshitting is the right word for it. But unfortunately, right now, I honestly don't think, Trump, when he was running for, president, that he actually gave any perception other than what he knew how to give. He's done that all his life, from what we can tell. He just tells everybody, "I'll take care of it," and then he puts somebody else on it. And if they don't,
and they may or may not find a solution.
Yeah, and then as recourse, he will fire them, and he looks like the hero
because he's doing something. He's given the perception of leadership, and I don't like to keep using a word over and over and over again, like I've been doing this entire podcast about being like, the perception of this, perception of that. Yeah. But I mean, like, at the same time, like, aside from the fact that it's the topic at hand, it's also very important to bear in mind that, like, whenever it comes to issues of perception, that almost a good 80% of the blame lays on the person observing.
Yeah.
Because we see a subject doing X thing, and so we assume that they are about X thing. Right. So, like, we see Trump attempting to run for president, being the most successful president that we will ever have, and really being for the working people. That's the perception he gives off. That's what we assume. And then all of a sudden it turns around and, he's given billionaire tax cuts, and he's brutalizing healthcare, and he's very almost 100% likely on the uptake of from the Kremlin. And that's on us, because we as the voting public, we made it happen.
Absolutely. We made it happen, and honestly, there's a good portion of us that's still buying the bullshit. Oh no, he totally means what he said, and
fake news.
There's nothing going on in the background. The media is spinning shit, and it's like, I mean, use your fucking brains.
FBI reports tend to be kind of neutral.
Yeah, you're not stupid people, but you're being stupid. And I say this because I know if it were anybody else that wasn't Republican, you'd be fucking furious. Stop playing the team game. It doesn't matter who's in office, Republican or Democrat. When somebody's fucking dishonest, they're dishonest. And you need to jump on that shit and get pissed. I mean, I didn't vote for the guy, but I know plenty of people that did, and they're... It's like buying this really... It's like pre-ordering, Frank. It's like...
No, that's not fair.
It's like buying a game you think is going to be awesome ahead of time, and it turns out that shit. What's the first thing that you do? You give it more chances. Maybe this fucking $60 I just spent. Maybe there's something more to it that I'm missing. Let me play it a little bit more. Okay, well, it still kind of sucks. Maybe if I get my friends in on it too, it'll suck less. Maybe they can see something that I don't see, and then I'll start to like this shit. So you tell your friends, go buy this game and blow your money on this piece of shit, and it's not until it's too fucking late to where you can't get a refund anymore that, well, I'm never gonna fucking play that game again. Like, sorry everybody.
What if you are the kind of guy who pre-orders because it comes with cool stuff, and you really don't care how the game performs at all, and you honestly may or may not ever play it? You may not even take the fucking shrink wrap off. I have like 7 of them that are literally in this room.
Well, you're kind of a dummy.
No, I like cool stuff. That is a terrible example because it offends me. I'm not saying that it's an incorrect example. I am saying that I don't like it because it's true and it upsets me.
I'm sorry, Frank.
You should. Fuck you. Fuck you. Look, eat tuna helper.
No. But, yeah, so, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, we made a fucking mistake. I'm not going to even exclude myself from, the fact I didn't vote for him, but we as a country made a mistake. And the sooner we can own up to it, the sooner we can undo the damage and start moving forward. But as long as we have the team mentality of, oh, I'm a Republican, and as long as there's a Republican in the fucking office, I'm going to support everything he does. And fucking Trump said it while he was campaigning. I could literally go out into the street and kill somebody and I wouldn't lose a single vote. Why do you think he says that? Because he's running as a Republican. And he's saying the things you want to hear.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I mean, like, as far as like the team game, I hated all the fucking candidates. Boom, spoilers. I didn't like Obama either. I thought he's a fucking idiot and a traitor. How about that? I think he should have been impeached. I also think Trump should be impeached. I also fucking hated, what the fuck was his name? Gary something.
Gary Johnson.
He was the worst. He's a fucking idiot. Jill Stein, also an idiot.
Yep.
It's like, how the fuck did these idiots manage to become politicians? I mean, like, okay, no, I guess like that's not fair. Obviously, like, I know how they became politicians because, X amount of dollars or whatever, but it's like, this is like fucking 300 million people and this is the best we got? Are you fucking for real?
Because here's the thing, Frank. When it comes to being a politician, especially when it comes to being a politician that's going to run for president, you have to be a special kind of person. You have to.
Turns out you have to have like your own lunchbox collection and eat paint chips.
You have to basically be willing to make sacrifices to your morality and sacrifices to other people's morality. And you see all these people that would make perfect candidates, and they don't want to run. They don't want the fucking responsibility because, number one, you have to make the hard choices, and number two, you have to sacrifice a lot.
I would happily sacrifice a lot. 10, 15 million people. It's fine.
We've been through this. We can't do that, Frank.
Why not, dude? I mean, look, we're already have giant mass graves prepared. All I'm saying is that I've got some attendants in mind.
Let's move on.
Let's talk about celebrities in video games, Neil.
Talk about celebrities in video games. So, have you ever played Game of War Fire Age on your mobile phone?
I don't play any games on my mobile phone. I use it to browse the news, talk with people, and to jerk off in the wee hours of the night.
Okay. I have played that game. It is fucking awful, and it's very much so one of the most biggest pay-to-win games ever. And that game is massively successful, primarily because of Kate Upton, and then shortly after her, Mariah Carey.
It kills me because I see the commercials for it and I'm like, oh look, tits. And then like the game, it's all like arrows flying and they're like, it's grand strategy. I'm like, it's not at all
There's
grand
no
strategy.
It's give us as much money as you can, and you'll never be touched by anybody else.
I remember I played one game that was, I guess, similar, where like you just had like X amount of people or whatever, and then you built up your fortresses and your forces and whatever, and then you sent them off to go fight other places. But I turned off aggression, and then I literally just built up and built up and built up and built up so many fucking people
Yeah.
that it was like Mordor. Like I could just send it to literally anybody in the area and just ravage their shit, and it was fucking glorious. Glorious. But like I don't get a celebrity. Okay, I get a celebrity endorsement of the game, but I don't understand like why it would make something like that be massively successful. But I understand that it did or does or whatever. I mean, I could see where like it would have like a substantial boost to it being successful, given that it was being endorsed by hot chicks with huge titties. You know, I mean, like I get that,
Right.
but like, what do you think that celebrities in a game make a game way, way, way more effective and or popular?
It depends. I mean, if it's a game that's they're actually using their talent in rather than just using their name, then yeah, I think so.
Can you give an example?
Like Elder Scrolls Online. I mean, it's got a huge cast of voice actors that are very famous. I think that it adds a very good element to the game because it provides a bit of immersion, but at the same time you can be like, hey, that voice sounds familiar.
Yeah,
And you go look it up and you're like, oh, that is cool. And it makes it that much cooler.
IMDb that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Kate Beckinsale's in it. We know Bill Nighy's in it.
Yeah.
And what the fuck is his name? Peter Stormare. I think is his name. He's in it. And then you got like your pretty normal voice actors. You got your Crispin Freeman, your Jennifer Hale. I think Matt Mercer's in it. So I mean, like you have like a grocery list of extremely successful and talented voice actors, like regular voice actors versus just like your on-screen celebrities.
Right.
I think that that game probably gets a lot of not only benefit from them being good actors, but also from them just being in it.
Right.
Same thing with like Oblivion, since we're talking Elder Scrolls, had Patrick Stewart in it. So Patrick Stewart was in like the very beginning, and he was in all the trailers. They front loaded the shit out of Patrick Stewart, and then immediately killed him right in the fucking beginning. Pow! No more septums. Go fuck yourself.
Oh god.
Sean Bean was in it too.
Did he die?
Spoilers: Sean Bean sacrifices himself in the end to relight the dragon fires.
Of course he died. What he does.
I watched this little interview where he was in a game trailer for Civilization, and he played one of the characters in there.
Yeah.
And he was so excited because he thought he made it all the way to the end, but then like they actually the Kotaku interviewer showed him the entire clip, and in the end he dies. He goes, I really thought I made it all the way through that one. And I was like, you crushed him. You crushed his dreams.
There's a couple movies he makes it all the way through in.
Yeah, Ronan. I mean, he actually because Robert De Niro kicks him out of the team.
No, he also lived through Troy. He also lived through Silent Hill.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. He did, and he did live through. I mean, because he did play Odysseus, so I don't know if he really wanted to live through Troy. He probably would have rather have died among like people he actually knew rather than kind of floating around for fucking like 25 years.
Yeah. I mean, isn't after the Battle of Troy when he had to make his journey back home?
Yeah, he leaves to go back home, and that's whenever the Odyssey begins.
That's when the shit goes down.
Yeah, then he's like, like, oh look, Lotus Eaters. Oh, a Cyclops. Oh, it's Charybdis. Like
Oh, look,
everything is terrible.
sirens. Oh.
Yeah, sirens. I'm just gonna tie me to the mast so I don't massively jerk off.
Yeah. No, I mean, so celebrities can bring a lot to a game as long as they're putting their talent into it and not just being Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger walking around. Hey, look, I'm smoking a cigar and this game is about army shit.
Yeah.
Like,
What the fuck is that game even called? I can't remember
is it
now.
like Boom Beach or some shit like that?
Oh,
Or
it's something stupid. And like like, you want to know exactly what it's like to be commanding a war? No, that's nothing like that. Click and then like you like kind of leave it up to chance and unit selection.
yep.
I'll tell you about your wartime situation. No, you're terrible at everything, but I love you anyway. And but like, is there a point where like certain celebrities you kind of give them a pass for shilling for shit?
It depends. I mean, if they're Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mariah Carey, or Kate Upton, they don't deserve a pass. They're fucking rich. If it were somebody like, I don't know, Wesley Snipes or
That's not
like
fair. Just because he's not rich anymore.
or like, I don't know, like Brendan Fraser.
Dude, Brandon Fraser, yeah, but he's got his finger on the pulse of the nerd community. He played George of the Jungle.
He played,
Also,
know,
hashtag he's my real mummy man.
Mummy Man. Dude, I saw that or it was on the other day. I'm like, this was such a good series.
It's still so good. And you know what? I saw the trailer for the new one, and I'm like, I don't care. Brendan Fraser's my boy. What's up, gay for a day? You should try being gay more than one day though.
Yeah,
Gay all the days.
all day, every day. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be okay if lesser known celebrities shield for it. But if you're getting like the upper echelon of, you know, the celebrity community, they don't need any more money. And I know why you're doing it.
That's not fair. I mean, like they need to work like everybody else. I mean, like really, and a lot of these celebrities end up fucking being flat ass broke. You know, because they're like, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. It's like the people that have like, you know, win the lottery and then they end up being broke in like 2 years. I'm like, I couldn't buy enough hookers and blow. You know,
I
I
mean,
just don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it.
no, it's once you get to that kind of you know, tax bracket, you don't need to work anymore.
No, you need to work. You need to make fantastic action movies for an elderly Austrian. The other two can fuck off. Uh, but I mean, like, so would you kind of give a pass if it was like, you know, hi, this is Charlie Sheen. I'm here to promote the new Call of Duty. Which one is Neil high? Neil's definitely not high. He's just an idiot.
Thanks, buddy. Now this is my normal face. I look stoned all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a slow talking Dave.
These glasses are the worst. These are my not normal glasses. My other glasses are in the shop.
Your glasses are in the shop.
So they're very glary. And But anyways, um,
Look like a Class S weeb.
Charlie Sheen. No, he needs to go away. He's done
That's
enough
not fair.
damage.
The man needs to work. No, he needs to do more damage. He's a walking Wicker Man, and it's fantastic. Everything he's burning and everything he touches, he sets on fire, and I just love it. I love the destruction. I mean, he ruins everything.
He does. I mean, actually, you know what? He made Two and a Half Men actually decent, but
And I love it. I don't even care. I don't even like that show. I thought it was fucking stupid. I watched 3 or 4 episodes, and I'm like, this show is fucking retarded. I love that literally everything that he's in is just dumb as shit. Neil is really cute. Sometimes he lets me give him a touch.
no, that doesn't happen actually.
Oh, dude, it does. It does.
But no, like Charlie Sheen is part of the Sheen Empire, man.
Sheen Empire.
He's got Martin Sheen. He's got Emilio Estevez.
Is Emilio Estevez part of the Sheen Empire?
Yeah, they just didn't want him to have a Sheen name because he's like a dirty stepchild, but he was actually a blood relative.
I thought he looked awful like the Sheens.
Yeah, and they were
He had a sheen about him.
they were stop it.
Ah!
They were in plenty of movies together. I mean, but no,
Yeah.
Emilio just didn't get to have the last name. It was pretty fucked up. But they're full on brothers.
Wow. Wow. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I mean, I guess they'd be half brothers then?
I don't think they are. I think they're actual full brothers.
That seems a weird decision. Be like, Charlie and fuck you.
Basically, that's how it went down. If
That'd
it
be
wa-
like, like you have kids and like at birth you're like, fuck him. He looks like a Smith. Just give him give me that book over there. Estevez.
No, I think Sheen is their Hollywood name, and their original name was Estevez. And then they changed their name to Sheen and kind of just left Emilio behind. You know?
Gayford says, I mean, you're both cute, but Neil is cute hot. You know what I mean? How come we don't ever get fans that come in that think I'm fucking hot? That's horseshit. Someday, someone's going to want to fuck me. And it's not going to be you for a change.
But it is not this
Or
day.
my accountant. But that's not today. April 15th has come and gone, and my Band-Aid is off. So I'm all healed up. It's unfortunate. It's not fair. That's all I'm saying. It's not fair. It's a smooth, buttery tones in your faux beard.
I don't know what to tell you, dude. I mean, I can't make people like you.
It's hard. I'm crude and abrasive.
I try. I mean, you really just have to get to know Frank. He's pretty swell
You
guy.
have to get to, which means I'm a cunt from the very beginning. But like you have to get to know me. It's like the first inch is really all that's painful. Then everything else after that is smooth sailing.
Yeah, dude. It's just like real life.
It's just like real life, not just a fantasy.
So I don't know. I mean, what were we even talking about? I've lost track.
We were talking how Emilio Estevez got fucked over by the Sheen Empire, which is just ridiculous.
He got fucked over, but they didn't
What up, dude?
exclude him from movies. I mean, you look at Men at Work. I mean,
Oh my god! Oh my god! I love that's how that's your defensive go-to.
no, look,
Oh my
that
god!
was a solid movie. But Emilio still got Young Guns. He got Mighty Ducks.
Oh man! I mean, these are top shelf AAA movies.
Those movies were huge in their time. What did Charlie Sheen get?
Platoon.
I mean, that was a pretty fucking good movie. What else?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank now.
Pretty much. Oh, he got Hot Shots.
That's true. That's true. Charlie Sheen fucking like Neil is high. That's a fact.
This is just my face.
Smoke weed every day.
This
No,
is
his
how
voice
I
is
am.
always mellow. It's horseshit because he's like the worst caster ever too.
I tend to lull people to sleep, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mean, but like it's so smooth buttery tones. We need to harness that for like a fantastic video.
It's all right. We can do what.
Oh, here's funny. So he's in Machete, right? And he
Okay.
plays the president. His president's name is Carlos Estevez.
That is just a giant middle finger.
It's like, what's up, Emilio? What's up? Neil, I don't know if I should be learning by your info or get turned on. Well, you could do both. I don't see why it's impossible to do both.
Hey man,
I spend a lot of my time with only one hand up.
if you want, you can straddle that subwoofer.
Oh, we're gonna do a Howard Stern.
Yeah, some private parts, baby. But no, there was a Saturday Night Live skit. I remember it was called "How Much You Bench,"
What?
and it was basically Emilio and like Chris Farley and like one other person, and they're like buffed out jocks, and it was just a talk show about how much you bench, and they were talking about who needs a beating. Like, oh, you know who really needs a beating? And Emilio was like, that Charlie Sheen, he needs a beating. And Charlie Sheen calls in the show. He's like, I'll wait till you get home, Emilio. He's like, come on, Charlie, this is just a skit. It's no big deal. He's like, whatever. Get home soon. Beat your ass.
Whatever, nerd. He gets home, and little do we know, Emilio Estevez got swirly right whenever he walked through the door. That was what we should do, Neil. We should have you read a bedtime story and put like little cartoon images and stuff.
We should do YouTube videos of me lulling people to sleep. You know? Exactly.
I wish I could be so hot that I can't fall asleep, because then I'd be like the fucking sun.
I don't even... What? Oh, that was retarded.
That's not retarded. Look, fuck you.
See, look,
I love my mustache too. Thanks, dude.
You get them too. You get them too.
Mustache rides 10 for $1.
I think we're running dry on the celebrities, dude.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of topics for tonight.
No, but we still wanted to get out there and give it the old college figgly fangling.
I mean, we've covered quite a lot in our we're up to like 50 episodes now. Mm-hmm. And feel free to listen to all of them.
We try so hard not to be political, and sometimes we just don't quite make it. But you know, this was one of those times. At least you guys, most of you, are coming in on the ass end of the perception discussion. So you're getting all the Emilio Estevez's Men at Work garbage can work.
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks was such shit, and fucking Young Guns wasn't even that good. It sure as hell wasn't because of Emilio Estevez.
When you guys go on P, what does that mean?
I don't know. What is P? I want that to be some just foul euphemism.
Is it
do we do our podcast every Saturday at 10 p.m.?
Most Saturdays. Sometimes, life happens.
Sometimes we cancel because, I got sick. Sorry.
Shit happens. But, we've got, like, a pretty good track record.
Yeah, I threw my back out, tossed my salad in the shower. Sorry.
I know those feels. That's why I don't try to... Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I think we're good, dude. Sorry you guys came in a little bit late. But feel free to go back and listen to the whole thing and listen to all the other podcasts if you're bored. Because I sound like this all the time.
Yeah, even whenever he's terrified, he sounds like that. He's like, "Oh no, oh my goodness, oh
goodness me,
oh that startled me."
I'm pretty scared right now, guys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous. My palms are sweating.
My knees are weak.
Your knees are always weak, though.
Stop it.
But I mean, tonight, almost assuredly, there will be a stream
by someone.
Yeah. If it's not Neil, it'll be me, which means that at least 99% of you won't be there.
Yeah.
Apparently, I have just garbage. I have garbage voice time, which is upsetting.
Right,
it's the shit I say, not how I say it.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you and dropping by. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, go ahead and give us a follow, a like, subscribe, all of the above. Check us out on Twitter at DastardlyMen. And we also have a website, dastardlygentlemen.com. Thank you again. We will be doing this again soon. Until next time. You got something, Frank?
I was just gonna say, if you have anything that you want us to talk about, feel free to drop us a line. That would be graciously accepted, because I would like to give a shout out to anybody who actually does ask us to talk about anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty much. Again, thanks, guys. See ya.